Here are 5 top cruise tips in less than 3 minutes. If you don't want the cruise ship to look like this, but rather you prefer it to look like this, then it's not only the cruise line and the size of the ship that you need to take into account. A 2-night cruise is going to look very different to a 2-week cruise, even on the same cruise ship. If you're on a 2-night cruise, you're out there. You're going to want to explore all the amenities. You're not going to want to spend much time in your cabin. So the cruise ship's going to be a lot busier. So when you're booking a cruise, even on a cruise ship where you may have seen some reviews, make sure you do your research. So when is it worth paying for the Wi-Fi on board a cruise ship? Any of you cruisers know how expensive that can be? The first thing I do is have a look how many port days I've got. If I've got a lot of port days, it's cheaper for me to pay for my mobile data roaming. It's a lot cheaper and just not switch your phone on in an evening. Make sure though that when you leave the port, so not when you get back on the cruise ship, when you leave the port, that you switch your phone onto airplane mode. If you don't, you're soon going to discover how much it really does cost to be on maritime. A lot of you may already be aware of this, but the cabins are metal, which means that you can get these magnetic hooks. As you can see here, I've got my insurance documents, my excursion vouchers, and even my PJs swinging there on the ship. It's great for space. That's the reason it was swinging the Bay of Biscay in January. So none of us want to be this guy, do we? And I don't mean Tom Cruise, but rather I mean a pier runner. So a lot of people may not be aware that ship time and port time can sometimes be different. It depends on the captain as to whether he wants to change the time on board the ship. So it's definitely worth keeping on top of this. Maybe having a watch with hands, a bit old-fashioned, but having a watch with hands, because you're not going to be concerned then that your phone, or if you've got an Apple Watch or something like that, that is actually connected to the local time. You need to know what you can bring on board and what you can't. All this here was on offer in the shops in Amsterdam, and unsurprisingly, this was not allowed to be brought on board. So do your research, stick to the rules. You do not want to be one of the people in security who are being stopped because of contraband. That's just a few tips. I have lots more, and I've got a new vlog series coming real soon.